Sega.
Here we are in London, one of the biggest cities in the world, for one of the biggest events in the world.
Yes, Seth, it's certainly going to be an exciting one. After years of preparation, London is finally ready to welcome the world to the 2012 Olympic Games.
Such a magnificent city, so many views with the Thames stretching away into the distance. And with so many new venues waiting to be tested, this really could be the best games ever. The Olympic Stadium's splendid, glowing like a beacon here in London's East End.
And there, the Olympic torch, the iconic symbol of the Games, shining over the city of London. What an absolutely beautiful sight.
So many nations represented here, all ready to compete in true Olympic spirit.
Yes, 80,000 people they're expecting in that stadium, and it's going to be full to the brim. Not a spare seat in the house. Just imagine the excitement down there in the crowd.
Fireworks to show the start of these games, and the first event is first thing tomorrow. Well, this is the first session of the day at the Olympic Stadium. I think everybody's waiting with bated breath to see what happens.
Is the semi-final of the men's long jump.
As we look at the starting lineup, plenty of talent. The key thing for these athletes is to finish in the top four, and then they're assured progression to the next stage. And once you're in the Olympic final, it just comes down to performance on the day. Well, here we go then, round number one. Well, he struggled to get up to speed on the runway and really lost momentum. Let's check on the replay. Here are the results after the first round.
Next up, the competitor representing Canada.
Second attempt. Well, that's very close to a new personal best.
4.46.
Well, there are a few technical flaws that came to light in this performance. And this athlete will have to go back to the drawing board. Well, that will leave him bottom of the leaderboard, I'm afraid to say.
Next up, the competitor representing Canada.
Just a smooth athlete on the runway.
Canada.
Well, the reactions of this athlete tells you everything. A new personal best, and quite rightly, they're delighted. Well, let's have a look at the replay. Well, bottom of the leaderboard, not good enough, not what he imagined. And from here, it's going to be an uphill task to get back into this event. Great speed on the runway. Can he follow it up with good technique? Oh dear, there was something dramatically wrong there. Didn't even attempt the jump.
Next up, the competitor representing Canada.
This is round number 5 then. That's good. That's really good. This is excellent.
Distance of 5.08.
What a moment for this athlete. A personal best and a great performance at the Olympic Games. A real reason to enjoy. Here's the scoreboard, and it reflects the misery of that last attempt.
The athlete from Canada.
Showing nice rhythm on the runway here.
Canada.
Well, this athlete's understandably delighted with that performance. A new personal best at an Olympic Games. That's exactly what you dream of. Well, that's it. Real frustration and disappointment for this athlete. Just not the performance that they dreamed of at an Olympic Games. Well, plenty of crowd support here. They're all ready to get this event underway.
The athlete from Canada.
First attempt now. Well, just fell back rather, and that will cost him some precious centimetres. Well, here's the replay. Well, let's take a check on the results at the end of round 1.
Representing Canada.
Well, this is the second round of the men's long jump. To produce your best ever performance at the Olympic Games, that's exactly what these athletes train for. And look at the delight on his face. Well, here's the scoreboard after 3 rounds.
Next up, the competitor representing Canada.
Here we go then, attempt number 3. Jumps up high, but in the end, no real distance on that. Here's the replay. Well, the scoreboard doesn't lie, and sitting in 5th place after that round is what this athlete's looking at. Got to hit the board flush here. Anytime you jump up rather than long, it takes away distance, and that was the problem here. Well, let's have another look at that. Not quite enough speed on the runway. Not a bad takeoff, and an all right landing. That was okay. This is the 5th round of the long jump. Away we go. Well, the problem with that jump was that the trajectory into the sand was just too high. Really could have done better than this in the end. Not the best jump, and in fact actually quite disappointing. The results on the scoreboard aren't good, and some way behind the leaders. Last Chance Saloon, 6th and final attempt. If you jump high, you won't jump long, and that was the problem here. Here's the replay of that. Not a disaster at all, but nowhere near what this athlete hoped for, and that's why he looks dejected.
Second, South Africa, with a distance of...
Four years of preparations since Beijing, and these athletes now must be ready. Any injuries, any doubts must be shoved clear from their mind. The Olympic Games always has a habit of making superstars. There's no reason why this athlete... 'Did you know that archery was so important in the 14th century? It was compulsory for all men between 7 and 60 to practice the sport. First end, arrow number 1. Let's add 9 more to the total for that arrow. Having seen the first arrow, what adjustments will this athlete make for arrow number 2? Gotta shoot soon. That's 5 points in the blue. Can the athlete finish end 1 on a high? Eight more to the total. Here's the replay. A steady start for the athlete, but it's not scratched the surface with regards to their potential.
Next up, Archery representing Canada.
End 2, arrow 1. The inner red, 8 points. Arrow 2. Elsewhere in the world, being in the black's a good thing, but not in archery. 4 points. That's 8. Here's the replay. So a 4th position on the scoreboard for this athlete after that round. A respectable position, but I'm sure the athlete's wanting better than that.
Next up, the competitor representing Canada.
Here we are for the third end, and the competitors will shoot towards the magnificent media centre. Trust, we're not in the line of fire. 6 points on the blue inner circle. There'll only be 4 arrows remaining in the competition after this. End 3, arrow number 2. Tiny adjustment required. Can the athlete close out end 3 with a good arrow? That's 7.
Canada with a score of 21.
Let's take a look at that replay. Well, 4th place after the latest round, and that certainly shows a decent performance.
From Canada.
Arrow 1, end 4. Right on target, 10 points. This is the penultimate arrow in the competition. The line was good, but in the end, the power needed to be different. Good aim, 8 points.
Canada with a score of 23.
Here's the replay. This athlete will take the applause of the fans, but I think deep down they know it's not where they want to be on the target. Well, let's take a check on the official results then following that race. 4th place, scraped through with that one. This is Lords, and this is the final event of this session.
The next event is the final of the women's archery.
Well, this is the field then, and some great competitors all vying for a medal.
The athlete from Canada.
If you are looking for an outsider, maybe this is the competitor. End number 1, arrow number 1. The blue inner circle's 6 points. End 1, arrow 2. Good arrow, 7 points. This is the final arrow of end 1. That's a 10.
Canada with a score of 23.
Here's the replay. A decent start in this competition. I'm sure this athlete, though, has plenty still to prove.
Next up, the competitor representing Canada.
This is the first arrow of the second end. So close to a 10. That's a 9. End 2, arrow 2. 7 more to the total. This is the final arrow before the midway point in this competition. In the red, not bad.
Canada with a score of 24.
Well, let's have a look at the replay. Well, let's have another look at the scoreboard, and third place after the latest round. That's a good performance.
Next, the athlete from Canada.
End 3, arrow number 1. A good start required. That's 8 points for the inner red. Arrow 2, end 3. Just outside the yellow, that's worth 8. Can this athlete close out end 3 with a good score? This athlete is locked in right now. 10 more points to the total. Here's the replay. Well, in the top 3 after that last round, third place is a good position to be in.
Next up, the competitor representing Canada.
This is the first arrow of the final round. You can add on 6 for that. 2 arrows to go. Outer red, 7. Last arrow, pressure's on. Five more to the total.
Canada with a score of 18.
Let's take a look at that replay. This athlete underachieved here, so much potential, but when it came down to that big moment, maybe nerves played a part. You can see the disappointment. Nowhere near their best, that. The Ukraine take gold, and they reserved their best performance for the final. That really was outstanding. It's Kenya with silver, and finishing third in bronze, it's the Czech Republic.
With a score of 95.
Let's take a quick check on the overall medal tally. Well, it's been a good day at Lord's. No cricket on offer, but the archery has been spellbinding. From Seth Bennett, we'll see you next time.